As the inner defences fell, all surviving forces were ordered to the Luxembourg walls, where I, along with other British and Marquis leaders, awaited the last of the VTOL transports. Now it was a race against time, as we attempted to hold off the advancing Chimera, while our escape routes were closed off, one by one.
Oh, shit. So,
Very dire.
started the evacuation. My bowels. Colonel Parker has gone missing. Cartwright could have sent anyone to find her, but he asked me to go in instead. The third time in as many days he's turned to me for help. Maybe he finally realizes my do-anything fight unfair tactics are the only way to survive against the Chimera. For whatever reason, this is not the same Cartwright who's testified at my trial. He would never admit he's a changed man. I would even argue that I'm the one who's changed, which is complete bollocks. Right?
There might be something there that wasn't there before.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I've seen an American writing team put in the word bollocks.
Actually, we do that a lot for British dialect, you'd be surprised. But, yeah, no, oh god, I'll never forget, didn't Crash Bandicoot 4 actually have to be, like, rated higher in other countries because they had Dingle Dial say bollocks?
Grayson, oh my god, you're here!
When immediately Parker actually made to defender against a bunch of leapers. Don't worry, it's actually easier than it sounds. And we're gonna basically, you know, work with her with the rest for the rest of the level.
I'm trying to remember if we ever fought alongside her while playing as Hale.
No, we did. She did, you know, showed up in the cutscenes, so they did travel together. You know, her and
It says
Hale.
bastards actually, Jeremy.
Yeah, but no, in gameplay, she did not show up. It was only with Cartwright that Hale fought together.
So this is
So again,
it's
also nice. It's also a nice change of pace to have Parker, you know, actually be on to witness Parker on the field.
Also, well done! You took that all off by yourself, Parker.
No, to be fair, no. Grayson also did help.
Long-range radios are down. It's bloody chaos up there.
It's such an honor to fight alongside the narrator we've been hearing for... Well, okay, to be fair, just the first game, but, you know, still, nonetheless, I get the feeling she was relatively popular due to that.
Not just that, it's also a nice, you know, thought process to have the narrator not having to be some omniscient, you know, being or a person that is, you know, super involved, but let me just a witness of the event.
And this is where I entered the story.
It's done sometimes, but not all the time. And yeah, that also may lead to the how did you know the party were not there, you know, bit. But you know, for the purpose of this franchise, it works because Parker herself does mention that, you know, this is something the player will know, like what happened to Hale. She doesn't know, and as such, she reports, for example, that is currently missing in action. Again, remember, at this point of the chronology, you know, the British intelligence doesn't know that Hale is still alive, so they do believe he genuinely perished in the attack at the Tower of London. You know,
which, as far as they know, is what gave them their best chance, since he more or less saved the whole area.
There's a reserve on that cart. I'll hook it up.
And that's also why the British, and that's why it's also the British are actually helping the Marquis to try to get to France in order to, you know, work properly on the serum.
Press X to push the cart.
Again, the QTEs in this game are fine. Nothing too spectacular, but it seemed worse.
True, yeah.
And I know I asked earlier, but how does this port, adapt the one analog stick control?
You did mention it, yes, Kidwaves, but for the sake of repeating, I do not know, because this version, the one that is connected, visibly emulated on the PS4, automatically registers the linking to the PS3 version, and as such, immediately, you know, switches to the DualShock, you know, type of controller. So I don't know, I have no idea, since I did not play this on a PSP when it came out, I do not know actually how it was supposed to. If I had to guess, potentially with a D-pad, because you normally, you know, the buttons there normally are not used. So maybe it was done with that.
It's getting louder.
Then work faster.
Again, I'm just glad that back then Ben Studio had the foresight of try to adapt to this kind of control scheme, which works well for for this purpose. But it's worth noting that the sensitivity of the aim is a bit on the slow side, but it can be toggled in the options. So again, if you want to play this game on your own, try to check that out if you find that you're you feel too sluggish in aiming. In case you're wondering, this counts as an escort mission technically because, Parker can still be killed, she has an L bar and everything, but again, a bit similar to Cartwright, she can take care of herself and she doesn't drop in an instant, so don't worry about her. That being said, it would be appreciated if she managed to work the radio faster.
That would be nice, yes.
Okay, I don't remember if I didn't mention, but not that much, how the secondary fire of the Razor, that's the bullseye substitute, what it's called, actually works. You have to hold L1 while having the clip still at least with having one bullet in it. It's recommended that you do the entire clip for maximum purposes. Then when you shoot it, it technically fires, at an horizontal state, but it has, two properties that are not immediately, understood. If it doesn't hit anything, it will circle around and hit the major first organic target. Hold on.
You can reach the flight deck via that hallway. I'm heading down to the labs to extract Dr. Bouchard.
Wrong. You get topside and help evacuate those refugees. I'll drag the old bugger out. Now go.
Not to mention
This
that
isn't your
splitting up is
responsibility.
typically
You
a bad
don't have to do
idea.
it.
If the old man thinks he can destroy the Chimera once and for all, then of course I have to save him.
James, you've changed since I last saw you.
Oh?
It's the 5 o'clock shadow. Marquis won't issue us raises.
Heh.
Serious.
Deflection.
In London, you swore you would never again serve under us. Now look at you.
Don't get used to it. I'm bound to come to my senses before.
It's not like this will last forever, okay?
Take care of yourself, Parker.
Aww. Okay.
And just to finish quickly, when you actually hit the target, there's a good chance that it will actually ricochet into another one nearby. So it can be useful also to take out multiple targets in an air. Not saying a proper grenade, but close enough to that. Anyway, go on, Jova.
Unless they actually botch his character arc, yeah, Grayson's a contender for best protagonist.
Again, I technically finished the game by the time we're recording this, so let me tell you a non-spoilery way. The character arc is genuine, a bit rough around the edges, but genuine. But the script needed a couple of rewrites, if I have to be honest. They don't mean in terms of plot. I don't mean in terms of plot elements, but the way characters talk. Again, it's something we already seen. Grayson is, at the end of the day, he's just a bit too abrasive for my taste. Even for the time this was made, I do wonder how much of how much of a punch, his type of insult we're supposed to carry. The idea behind it is that, he's supposed to be brash, and abrasive, ignoring, the French, because they're, ineffectual, while he is basically the hero that saves the day. But a lot of times, the timing for those type of, remarks do feels off anyway. So, again, I argue even at the time this was made.
Is it because of the whole the world should be coming together thing?
No, again, well, that is something I already discussed. But again, you'll be able to see eventually. Again, we're not technically far off for the end of the game. It's not the next part, but not too far off.
I guess for me, his arc has been working because yes, he started off pretty much just a dick, but seems to have been getting better and better in his channeling his mannerisms into something more productive. While calling out people who do rightfully mess up, ironically making him the voice of reason in some areas here. I mean, now, I don't
The
know what...
TV tropes call these jerkas as a point, you know.
Like, now...
Oh.
I'm not sure if I'm ready to ultimately call him best protagonist. Like, okay, for as much problems as Hale had, he got much better in, you know,
2.
Yeah, in Resistance 2. The issue was just that ending, which takes away all agency from him, where, again, if I were writing it, I would have at least had to be that while he was succumbing, he would have fought it enough to tell Capelli to take the shot. Like, yeah,
here's a better idea, you know. Instead of making it definitive, you know, make the cut to black, you know, before the shot is done and you only hear about it. That way, if you want to keep it maintained, that technically happened, but you give a layer of ambiguity, like, was he really shot, or, you know, is there a potential chance that, you know, Capelli, you know, did not have the courage to go full through.
Or even better, you could do something ambiguous by maybe having him succumb, but he ends the game Captain America style by, like, I don't know, piloting a ship into, like, the aliens' core or whatnot, and that deals a massive blow to the aliens, and also leaves it potentially open or shut on whether or not he survived or not. Like, again,
yeah, that's another thing, yeah.
Like, it really just comes down to how disrespectful that ending was, to the point where, I mean...
Again, the word Ted Price was pretty clear in that interview that they mentioned. The idea was to suddenly rip away the connection that the player had with Ale at that point. And, like, I get it, but that doesn't mean that I have to like it.
Like, the problem was, like, it seemed like they didn't expect to get as much backlash as they did, and I'm like, dudes.
Parker, I hope you made it out. Burrowers are making themselves at home.
Have a multiplayer?
I think it had. I forgot to check. I'll try to do it in between parts. It's worth noting that, according to what I heard, not this game, but instead the Killzone spin-off, Liberation, is considered one of the best, you know, multiplayer titles for the PSP. Something that was carried over with the PS Vita game that was done for that franchise, you know, Killzone Mercenaries. But again, I haven't played yet any of them, so I cannot tell. And especially for the multiplayer purposes, I cannot tell. Again, yeah, that's one thing he said that I can say now that I'm done with the game. Yeah, the score is definitely the best of the franchise. No real question. Again, there's still that one track from Assassin's Creed that I do like, the one that was picked for PlayStation Star Battle Royale. But no, overall this offers a better complementary experience. One of the better things about it is that the sound mixing in this is actually naturally good, actually. There's never a real moment where the music overtakes the voice acting, but never the opposite, where the music is too low that you cannot hear it that much, you know, or what's happening. So that's actually pretty neat.
I will say, one thing I find surreal is, like, and mind you, this is not to knock the main games, but it feels like this one PSP game is, like, the most overall focused of any of the Resistance games. I don't know if I can say whether or not I consider it better, but it definitely feels like it has all its stuff planned and in place, whereas with each Resistance game, it always felt like, whereas they had strengths in one category, they had vast weaknesses in others, like they didn't plan things full and fully out.
Mostly because, remember, they were supposed to be sort of experimental titles, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's also the fact that around this point, Van Studios was not technically doing anything on their own, as in they had just released the last major Siphon Filter title, whether it was on the PS2 or the PS3 or the PSP. But so I get the idea, you know, this being the start of their working on something else, you know, meant that they had more time and resources to actually, you know, concentrate on that. This is a dialogue that's happening between Bouchard and her father,
Rain
Dr.
Bouchard and
Bouchard.
her father had spent the last 2 years researching the
And
evolving Chimera
Grayson is just
conversion
about to barge
process.
in.
With Grayson's help inside the Bond facility, Rain had obtained samples of amniotic fluid that would prove crucial to her father's work. But with Luxembourg now under siege, would we be able to get Dr. Bouchard's work out intact?
The bit tells me no.
What do you, the people at home, think?
Alright, borrowers always leave, yeah.
Your
I've
mom.
descended deep into the Marquis facility and into the domain of Dr. Claude Bouchard. I don't know if Claude's been stashed away for protection or to hide his research, but the dissected human corpses found upstairs indicate that Claude is a doctor of the mad variety. Will such a man use his own daughter as a guinea pig? Would Rain allow herself to be used? It makes you wonder if the Chimera captured Rain back in Bonn, or if she'd been a willing participant.
That is a question to be pondered, but for the time being, as the slide implied, it seems that we're kind of interrupting Dr. Bouchard indeed experimenting on his
Come on,
daughter.
old man. I've got orders to get your ass up to the transports. Who are you? This area is restricted.
And I think Dr. Bouchard is also with Willem O'Brien, which causes a bit of a... Again, it's a bit weird to hear the same voice actor having a conversation with each other, you know, without too much of an inflation.
I did have to walk after all.
It's like with Jim Cummings in that puppetry show, Bumping the Night.
We've discovered a weakness in the Chimera, the carriers. Once the serum is complete, we can infect carriers, kill them all. Do you know what this means?
That you can't be trusted.
That you probably
Doc,
won't
you're
succeed
leaving
because
with
it
me.
takes until
Now.
resistance free for us to take them out, honey.
Oh, you... Get back here! Never!
Allow him to finish. We are so close. Infecting the carriers, killing them, the Chimera would have no way to transport human bodies.
I've got orders to get you out.
But, James, you don't understand. We can destroy the carriers and stop the conversion process for good.
I'm here for the old man. You want to stay here and complete his work? That's fine with me. The serum is our only chance to destroy the Chimera, soldier boy. I can't leave now.
Well...
Did you say serum?
Well,
the timing.
Craig.
Papa! No!
Damn it!
Wait, and he's just dead like that?
Rain, finish our work.
Boy, this series has a knack for killing...
He did fall from a pretty height, so...
Boy, this series has a knack for killing the scientists in rather
We
anticlimactic
deliver it
ways.
together, remember? Science saves the world, right, Papa?
If only.
Oh, Christ.
You know, it's ironic because she's a scientist. The actress who plays her would also go on to play a scientist, albeit one of the more corrupt kinds.
Isn't that corrupt?
Oh, in what series?
Hitman.
Damn it!
Huh.
How will Neil Breen fare against the Chimera? I wonder.
Yeah, basically her.
That would be very simple too. He would just use his godly powers to make them
Yeah,
explode
just
all at
look
once.
at them, you know, with a stern look, and instantly they
Just
bleed from their eyes.
Yeah, to quote that great moment from Pass Through, if it can be destroyed
It
by the
has to be
truth, if it
finished.
can be constructed by the truth, it can be destroyed by the truth.
Basically, Jova, in the 2016 game, the character she plays is one of 2 human targets where we have to kill them because otherwise they would be able to distribute a DNA-seeking virus around and pretty much render Agent 47's business obsolete.
So it's literally about business espionage.
And even better, it's set in Italy, in a fictional town called Sapienza.
Which means wisdom. Anyway, what we're supposed to do now is take the serum from Bouchard and put it in yeah, it's a centrifuge machine, so you know exactly what it kind of, you know, process is. You know, spin round very fast, you know, to separate the chemical components. Here we go.
Now turn it on.
Whee!
This way, James.
Ah, science.
Pretty sure, okay, consider this is the 50th, I get the idea that's the best that he could come up with a centrifuge machine, but it's a bit too big for one vial.
It's like how computers used to be the size of a room back in the old days.
It reminds me, well, okay, first of all, just to mention, it's not an escort mission, so don't worry, you just have to survive the hordes, so don't worry, the machine is not in danger. But it reminds me of one of the stupidest phrases from the Tandy Computer Whiz Kids comics, where they witness, you know, they enter a room and see this computer, and one of the kids is like, I forget if it was actually Alec or Shanna, that actually said, wow, they must have built the computer first and then the room around it!
No!
God.
Oh my goodness.
Is Radio Shack still operative? I don't even know.
Oh god, Radio Shack.
Just get down. Take cover.
I believe it still is, though there's a lot less locations left.
I can't imagine considering the advancement in technology.
And I'd say, I think there's about 400 left, and they probably operate independently. In fact, let me check something.
Yeah, in the meantime, again, don't worry about Rain. She's capable of defending herself, even if she still has an L-bar. So basically, only if she's very close to die, you have to actually start to get worried about it. Certainly doesn't have the fact that you start also being harassed by sleepers. Holy shit! I really wish this shotgun was more effective, so I could be, you know, not be worried about them.
Give
but
me an
alas,
ogre
what
any
can you
day.
do?
So yeah, speaking of stores that went out of business, Blockbuster. There, believe it or not, is only one that remains open.
Oh, I thought they were all closed at this point.
Well, yeah, but yeah, there was like, you know, someone really wanted to keep it open, and now it even has its own Wikipedia page. It's colloquially known as the last Blockbuster as well.
Considering how, you know, nostalgia fandom tends to be a thing, it's only a matter of time before, you know, there's a comeback on the chain, except maybe like it's all digital or something.
That would be something.
Especially with Netflix, you know, stopping the send you a DVD, a rental DVD, you know, for a limited number of time program that they used to have.
It's funny you mentioned that. Netflix actually made a sitcom called Blockbuster, which was based off of the last remaining Blockbuster.
Huh.
It stars Randall Park.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Netflix, a company that helped kill Blockbuster, making a film about it. That's
lovely.
That's some great
it's kind of like the same of you know, Hollywood being, you know, part of America, having to do a lot of movies, maybe an exploitation set of movies based around, you know, the trouble of Central America countries disrupted by the American banana companies.
Yeah.
All right, one Titan, and this is an armored one.
That's it, Ray. You tried.
Yeah, unfortunately, this Titan actually damaged the machine. Again, it's a scripted event, you cannot really prevent it.
He's wearing armor.
Oh no, all hope is lost.
Well, that's what we had to find out, unfortunately. First we had to survive.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'll admit, I kind of have my doubts, like, granted, maybe they'll retcon it that this helped out with things, but, like, you know, whenever I hear that,
the game is going somewhere, so don't worry about that.
Sure, fair enough. But I'll just say, whenever, like, a spin-off just said, oh, this will be the thing that solves everything, I kind of just
remember what also Pedro noted. This was done around the same time of 2, and Ben Studio probably had to be in touch with the Insomniac to actually avoid this kind of problem with the plot. So you'll see. There you go. Brain is currently searching for the remains of the serum, so for the time being now we have to deal with what few enemies have remained, including the Titan.
Get over here, you damn dirty ape.
I love how she is able to, you know, withstand a few hits from the Titan.
The line's been wiped out. I need reinforcements. Anyone who can lift a rifle, get down here now.
Sorry,
That's
Cartwright.
it, Ray. We go now. You keep drawing weapons on me, Tommy.
I'm
I'm
Mallory.
beginning to take it personally. I'm sure
Just kiss already.
My arm! Keep your bloody hands off me.
Goodbye, Papa.
Sir, it's the lieutenant.
And she fainted.
Again, stress and shock, I can get it.
Guess the
Frank.
adrenaline must have been keeping her conscious.
This is
Probably.
insane. What have you done to her?
Oh
Frank.
my god.
Why do you
James.
immediately blame him?
The blood, my
Because
father.
he's British.
Too much excitement. I am
True, she
fine.
was also, she also had the
When-
blood taken from her.
When in doubt, just blame the
Cartwright needs my
British.
help on the defensive line. Mallory will take you to the evacuation zone. Can you handle that, Molly?
I have kept my people alive for 2 years. Rain, come. My crew is waiting for us at the field hospital.
Get her out alive, and maybe, just maybe, I'll stop looking for a reason to kill you.
Don't fret, Tom.
Progress.
We shall meet again. You have a knack for survival. The tenacity of a cockroach.
And you
Hey, that sounded almost like a bout of respect.
This writing, I know.
This writing.
It's beautiful.
When Luxembourg's outer defenses collapsed, hundreds of evacuees, including Rain, Bouchard, and
No,
her
give it
father,
this. It's
were still
That
waiting
sounded
to
a
be
lot
rescued.
cooler in
We
your
had to
head,
rely on
man.
soldiers like James
I will give it
And
this.
again, you have to picture the fact that it's all of that is done is mostly done by Nolan North with a French accent.
He was totally having a ball with this, I just feel it.
Well, I get the idea it was more by a job, but next mission.
Broads are bonkers enough as it is, but Rain was born with an extra helping her crazy. Her father was a stupid bastard who just got himself killed for nothing. She risked her life to finish synthesizing their serum, a magic elixir that's supposed to evict and kill Chimera at the source. You ask me-sized people they invented gunpowder. Harry's taking her to the Marquis safe zone in Ren, while I head to the bunkers to see if I can buy us time to escape with our skins.
Okay, Grayson would totally be best friends with Doomslayer.
Please, you know, the Doomslayer, you know, is a bit rough, but at least until this point has not really showcased the, you know, traits of sociopathy.
Unless you're a
Again,
demon.
well, yeah, as showcased in 2016 and Eternal, you know, he only goes against, you know, other humans if they actively, genuinely try to be in his way, you know, and impede the progress towards that. Like, otherwise, he's yeah, just a bit rude. For example, he just takes a key off of someone, but doesn't have to, like, punch him in the face for that.
Again.
Grayson, I don't have time for your cheek. We're in big trouble here.
I love it. Grayson's the more foul-mouthed one, whereas Cartwright still does
It's
his
always
best to be-
composed, posh, you know.
It's the perfect buddy cop maneuver.
Follow, mate. Yeah. Alright, for this level, which you have to basically finish the evacuation, you have to go a bit through the trenches, and then you will have to help, you know, everyone else get to the remaining vehicles.
Wonderful. But yeah, no, like, writing-wise, I'm definitely the most engaged in this of any Resistance plots. Like, you know, that's not to say that, you know, I wasn't invested at all with the other Resistance games, but we've already been over the issues with each one. The first
Like
one...
I said, I get the idea. The thought process with Ben Studios in this was to write it still by being inspired by old war movies. I don't know how many experience you guys have with old war movies, but the two that I remember immediately are Where the Eagles Fly, I think it's called, with Clint Eastwood, and the Cannons of Navarone, which instead talks about an operation in Greece, but alone.
To the Canyon LZ. You, go now! Hurry! On their way now.
RAF pilot, you have company.
You mean that thing? I've got at least a minute. Plenty of time.
Famous last
Alright.
words.
Now this is a proper escort mission. You have to make sure that the Chimeras do not damage the Beetle, you know, too much. So there's that. But like I was saying, again, the thought process I think for this one was that Ben Studio got inspired by movies like the ones that I mentioned, and wanted to write a story that did felt like an old World War II, you know, movie story, you know, just with aliens as the opponent instead of saying the Nazis, you know. While instead, as we noted, the first game applied that to 2 and 3 started writing, started writing the story, again being inspired instead by the Call of Duty Modern Warfare franchise, which is a bit more, from what I checked, because I haven't properly played the story myself, a bit more dry, and really just focus more on, modern military and escalation of the Cold War type of, type of war story. So you could definitely feel the clash with that.
One thing that you said earlier also makes me realize maybe part of the reason this feels like they had the most focus here was because, unlike Insomniac, who were probably doing Ratchet and Clank on the side, Ben's studio had pretty much only this game to focus on, I believe.
At least for the time this was made, yes. I don't remember how long. It wasn't too long since they had done the last second filter game that I didn't mention. But it was going to take a bit before they did Uncharted Golden Abyss for the Vita, if I remember correctly. So they had a bit of time in between to develop things.
I wonder if that might be the case that, thanks to them having more time and resources to focus everything on this game, maybe that's why this feels like the most focused of any Resistance game.
Speculation.
Leg.
Speculation, I guess. My leg. But that's mostly because also I haven't played yet myself Burning Skies, so I cannot even tell how the story in that one is in terms of what. A general premise of it. You apparently play as a fireman that apparently has to, improvise becoming a soldier for the occasion, for Division of New York. But I don't know actually, how it plays out, who are the supporting characters, if there are villains, or not, who knows. Again, if a port is ever made, sure, I'll give it happily a try, but until then. Yeah, the AI also is a bit of a smartass in case if you pop up a shield, the Shield of Yager, they're actually programmed to start going towards you and go for melee because they realize they cannot actually hit you with their ranged attacks.
Okay, dead end. Thankfully, just in time for you to kill him.
Well, that's because I was, retreating. That's the unfortunate effect of the trench is the fact that, you have to carefully maneuver. And again, despite that, the shotgun, which was essentially the anti-trench weapon, made specifically to combat the Germans in there, is not really as effective as it should be for this scenario. Let's see. To answer the question that you asked towards the beginning, Jova, I don't remember what the Italian Devil Crush 4 actually says during the Bastard scene. I don't think it was actually, directly translated into Bastard because, the word is nearly identical, so we normally don't have a problem if it comes to translate that. But I don't remember if it's actually that or not. I'll need to check again. Yeah, this propeller is moving a bit too fast for my liking.
Yeah, let's shoot
Yeah, I probably should have waited for that barrel because it's usually better when the cameras are nearby, context sensitive and everything. Alas. I also noticed that the two cameras, not this one, but the ones that I did just pop, they really just, spawned from thin air. Usually the game is a bit more clever in actually having them, spawn behind a cover and then moving out, alas.
Ah, you took a round to the shoulder.
Minor scratch, that's all.
Minor scratch my ass.
Pillbox is infested with those apes, and they're slaughtering refugees at the field hospital.
Let's get some grenades in that window.
Right, I'll advance. A little suppressing fire would be useful.
Quite.
What a dynamic duo they make.
Coming up.
Again, it's well. Remember, it worked also with Hale, so I guess Cartwright is just a good combination with anybody teams up.
Pretty much.
Take him down!
There you go. There's the VTOL that Bouchard and Mallory have to take.
We'll never make it out of here! Move, move, move!
Come on, we
Oh,
must
that
hurry.
attitude.
Strap in, Ray.
Fuck.
Can anything go right today?
What's wrong? Why aren't we lifting off? Nav computer's in. We can't fly without it.
Where are you going? I've got a delivery to make.
Basically, Cartwright has a spare part that he thinks can work out, so we need to provide cover with a turret.
You gonna cut me
Oh,
in
why
on your
not?
little plan?
When I have one. For now, just cover my six.
I like it. Even when he goes in half-cocked without a plan, Cartwright still sounds like a man with a plan.
I guess that's the kind of attitude that made him reach the rank he has.
I guess.
Enemies advancing on our position.
Oh, great. For the record, now I know I now remember properly the name of these bipedal mechs are called the Hammers. Which, sure.
Yes, you know it's not any sillier name than a gear.
But remember, the standard one that shows up in the Insomnia games are called the Stalker, with the bigger one, the Goliath. So this is not too far from that thought process. Thankfully, Cartwright usually...
Take care of ourselves.
Thankfully, Cartwright usually stays in the field of view, so if he's ever, threatened by someone or something, you should be able to see.
I'm
Handy.
exposed out here. Show me that expert marksmanship you're always bragging about.
I'm working on it.
Wait, did you just shoot Cartwright?
No. Cartwright is
never
the one with the
mind.
L-bar. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I got a double there. Maybe you could also move your ass a bit more, Cartwright. Jeez.
You're so close to the thing, too.
Repairs complete. Get out while you can. What are you waiting for? Move over. I will fly. Nice command. This is Colonel Mallory. En route now. Have a medical team standing by for Lieutenant Bouchard.
Attention. Enemy dropships are inbound. Marines, fall back to rally point. It's our turn to get out.
Move it, old man. Parker's stubborn and she won't leave until we get there.
Thankfully, it seems they did not have any major interruption with that.
Clear skies. Everyone in.
Where's Cartwright?
Radar just lit up. Multiple bandits en route.
You have room for one more? Hurry it, you spry bastard! That's everyone. Dust off.
Ah, the three iconic characters together.
Alright, technically this is over for the evacuation. See you for the next part, where we're equipped at REM, where also the Maquis are, and we decide what to do before moving to the final stage of the so-called Operation Overstrike, the Siege of Paris. So see you for that.
Sounds like fun.
See ya.